So today I want to come and talk to you all about something that just happened to me. And it was a conversation that I was having with someone who just got bad news about their cancer. And I wanted to talk to any of you who have been recently diagnosed or your cancer has progressed, maybe it's metastasized or something has happened, and there has been a dramatic change in what was going on and what's going on now. And as I was speaking with this person, they were talking about the mortality rate, and then they were talking about, just can they fight it? And then they asked me, how I dealt with it. And after I told them what I said, they said I should share it with you all. And normally I would flesh out this idea, but I thought it should come from a real place. And the first thing I said is that I never negotiate winning the fight against cancer. I never negotiate that because in my mind, I am going to win. It is not a conversation in regards to whether or not I'm going to get in this fight and I'm going to end up winning. It's about how I looked at win. So that whole idea that I'm going to fight for as long as I'm supposed to and not a minute longer. And that's the win. We talk about winning, and that's the active form of win. And so if you're having thoughts about anything other than that, well, you can't really think about losing if you know you're going to win. And you have to change your mindset. Again, the point is to win for as long as you're supposed to, not a minute longer. Sometimes we'll wake up in the morning and we will have thoughts and discomfort and those thoughts that go to negative places and what if, and you end up in that space. And as we are thinking about those things, sometimes that's our only focus. Our only focus is on that negative thing, and then it spirals out of control. How many times have you seen someone who has been living their life and unbeknownst to them, they had cancer? And before that diagnosis, they were in great shape and living their life. And as soon as they were notified that they had cancer, everything changed. The scenarios about how they were living changed. Their health and their mood changed. It all has to do with your mindset. That is all you can control on how you look at it. And so I said I never had a conversation with myself where I was going to allow myself to say that I wasn't going to win, because I already knew that I was going to win for as long as I was supposed to, and not a minute longer. And so with that in mind, I never had the thought that I wasn't going to win and beat this cancer thing. No, I was going to definitely get to a place where I was going to have a circumstance where there was an ending. But the fight was in that, right? It was in my season of winning. That's where my fight was, in my season of winning. That discomfort and feelings or thoughts that I didn't think that I was going to do that. All of those things were what my real fight was. My fight was to wake up in the morning and not allow myself to go to any of those things, to stay on my path of winning for as long as I was supposed to, and not a minute longer. I look at those little beads of strength, and I always think about that I follow them around. If you are in my generation, you file them away in the card catalog, with the call numbers. And so you kind of go in there, and I remember flicking all of those cards and looking for what I was looking for. And I was like, what? I could put the strength that I have, that I constantly create every single day when I'm thinking about this, in little places. And when I'm in that fight, and when those thoughts of anything less than, taking this journey all the way to where it's supposed to be, I go in the card catalog and pull out that strength. And so I say to all of you, I understand I understand how difficult that could be. I definitely understand how that could change everything for you, if you're a spouse or family member, how that changes everything and all of the circumstances and hopes and dreams and the things that you had in mind on how things were going to go. And I think how you think things were going to go causes a lot of the anxiety and problems that we have. But that doesn't mean that in this fight, you can't consider it already a win. So, as you continue to go through your journey, remember to win, to think about only winning, and remembering that you will win as long as you're supposed to, and not a minute longer. I hope this finds you well. Peace and blessings, fellas.